All right. Hello, everybody. Welcome to 2026, our first podcast of the new year, Fresh Cuts with Wes and Cody. I'll be hosting today as usual. I'm Wes Hood. Got my buddy Cody Peel along with us. Done with a well-needed and well-deserved Christmas break. I was fortunate enough to go visit my sisters and my dad down on the Gulf Coast. Made a little trip down there. Got to hit the casinos up. Got some good Gulf seafood. Spending time with family is always great. And what's a great thing about going to Mississippi during football season? 12 o'clock football games on Sunday, baby. Yes, yours truly got to watch his first Sunday night game that started at 7:30. I didn't fall asleep. So, yeah, it was a good time. I hope everybody out there had a good time. Cody, what'd you do?
I went back to my hometown, saw some family members, got together with my grandmother. It was nice to be around family, get some much needed rest. It was really good. Been really busy here prior toward Christmas in a barbershop. So it was nice to, get relaxing time with the family, really enjoy time. I also set up our new YouTube channel too, Wes.
The boys are getting their big boy pants on.
We are on officially YouTube now. We have our own YouTube channel. It's really easy. You can either, you can always, text me and Wes. We can send you a link to the channel, or you can simply just go to YouTube on the app or wherever you find YouTube at, and just type in FreschCuts Podcast up in the search tab, and it should pop up. And like I said, please like this video, subscribe, leave your comments. I mean, the more support, the better.
Yeah, Cody's right. We probably should have been doing some practice on this, but we just love doing it so much. We just went ahead and got started on it. But now we really would like to ask the audience to help us get the podcast out a little bit more, to get some traction, so we can start providing everybody with even more content and everything. Been getting a lot of positive feedback. We don't mind negative feedback too, so don't hesitate to reach out. I know my sister's given us some really good things. My wife, Cody's brother, and everybody has made some comments, and they all help. So please continue to do so, and we really, really need your help, okay? If we've ever helped you out, this is where we want some help back. Give us a share, post on your Facebook or whatever it may be, so we can get the word out and maybe start doing multiple shows and things like that. Anyway, let's get into what we're good at. Not recapping Christmas. We're good at recapping football games. And today we're going to go over, we'll call it the Big Three, but there's really three games that have some great implications behind them. And we felt no better way than to start with the 4:30 game on Saturday with the Carolina Panthers traveling to the reeling Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Panthers are 2.5-point dogs in this situation. As you know, Panthers need to win. Whichever team wins gets in. I know that there's a long shot where Atlanta wins and Carolina could back into the playoffs. We were reluctant about this game. We feel like the training wheels have to come off of Bryce in this game for them to win. But Cody's been kind of leaning towards Tampa Bay, and I'll let him explain that to you.
Well, I mean, this is the most. Someone said today in a barbershop, this is the most important game in Bryce Young's career. You got a chance to make the playoffs as the quarterback of the Panthers. We haven't seen that since Cam Newton. The reason I'm leaning Tampa is because when it comes to games like this, veterans win games like this. Not the rookies, not the guys who've been, second year or third year guys. It's the guys that are like Mike Evans, who won Super Bowls. It's guys like Baker Mayfield, who have been to the playoffs. Chris Godwin, who's won Super Bowl with Tom Brady. Those guys show up when it counts the most. When your back is against the wall, these veterans have been there, done that, been on the big stage. They're at home. You don't have to go on the road anywhere. And this is why I lean more toward Tampa in these situations, because of that experience. And it's also hard to beat a team twice.
In 3 weeks.
Ask Georgia that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
That's right. That's right. Georgia fans are a little butthurt about that. Yeah, and again, I know people are probably tired of the regression thing with me, but Buccaneers have lost, I think, with 5 in a row, and they've lost 8 out of the last 10 after a hot start. Ibuka is not, Emeka Egbigbu, has not been performing like he did at the beginning. They're very banged up. Baker's super banged up, but his back's against the wall, and unfortunately for the Panthers, we think he probably gets it done in this situation. But it won't be a shootout, in my opinion, and we think it's time for Canales to really open the playbook up. And we talked about it today. If the Panthers get in, somebody's got to travel to Carolina, man, and we put 30 up against Tampa Bay, we'll be looking at a different story next week. So anything else you want to touch on in that game, Cody?
I just, as a huge Panthers fans, I mean, as me and Weston are, this is where you show up. You had multiple opportunities. You had one against the Saints, one against Seattle. You had multiple opportunities to close this out, win the division, and be resting guys this Saturday. But now it's do or die. You win or you go home. And I don't want Atlanta to carry us into the playoffs.
No.
I want to win this outright, be NFC South champions, and have a home playoff game against whoever, and that place be going crazy. And that's what I want to see. Like I said, I have seen this team go up, down, up, down, up, down, and it's hard to be like, okay, I'm trusting put all my eggs in the Bryce Young basket and the Dave Canales basket. I much rather lean to Baker Mayfield and Mike Evans. That's where I stand.
Yeah, I totally agree. But Cody's right. This should be Andy Dalton starting. We should have beat the Saints a couple weeks ago. All right, moving on to the only other game that's got an actual playoff implication to it. So win and you're in, and that is Baltimore traveling to Pittsburgh. Neither team really impresses me much. I know that if Baltimore is running on all cylinders, they're the more dangerous playoff team, I would think. They've definitely got some controversy. Pittsburgh, not without controversy themselves. I think the little incident a couple weeks ago in Detroit has had some implications. We called it on the podcast. I know a lot of people thought that maybe that was going to be like a small thing, but what is with DK gone? They've got nobody scaring the defense, right?
I mean, no. Their best weapon receiving wise right now was Pat Firemove. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
The tight end. I mean, I can't think of any.
Yeah,
I mean,
Washington's been coming on, but he's hurt now. So,
yeah, that's right. And then you got 2 good running backs, but with you having no deep threat or any wide receivers to scare anybody, all defense is going to do is load the box up and make you throw it. And so we saw at the end of that Cleveland Browns game when Rodgers, got it down on the red zone at the end of the fourth quarter. What did he do? 2 or 3 fade passes to Scantling, Valdez Scantling?
Yeah.
MVS. I mean, just like, that's just crazy. And is that your best? That's literally your best receiving option? That's why last week.
It's the only speed guy.
Yeah, that's right. So that's why last week I told everybody on the podcast, I said, I am taking the Cleveland Browns because of all the drama. I mean, that's all you heard on all sports networks was everything talking about DK and the punching of the fan and the suspension and everything like that. That's all you heard. These guys don't live in a cave off in the desert somewhere. These guys are constantly looking at their phones. They're constantly watching SportsCenter, ESPN, things like that. So it's going to seep in the locker room.
Yep.
When things like that happen and you don't have that star wide receiver and you're listening to it, man, it was I thought it was a no-brainer to take Cleveland, and it happened. It happened just like that.
Yep, that was definitely a good call by Cody. And another thing kind of sad is, they caught DK in a lie about what the guys. Not that word should ever merit a butt whooping, but that was another sad thing. We really think he needs to grow up. Baltimore, we think, wins this game. It's unfortunate because it looks like Rodgers, who actually had a decent season this year, if Pittsburgh could kind of find the offense, I think Pittsburgh should probably listen to Aaron a little bit more. But going to see a legend kind of fade away instead of rise to the occasion. So gonna miss him there, but looks like Baltimore is going to squeeze into the playoffs. It'll be fun if they can figure out how to get it done, because this was Cody, this was your Super Bowl pick earlier, wasn't it?
Yeah, the beginning of the season.
And I think they were the favorites coming out of the AFC. So let's see if they can right the ship. Harbaugh, if you sit Derrick Henry, they need to fire him in game. Okay, I'm going to say it here right now. And shout out to anybody who had Derrick Henry in their fantasy.
Won a lot of fantasy championships.
Oh yeah, that was for you, Jeremy.
He carried a lot of teams.
He certainly did.
Oh my goodness.
And rightfully so. He's a stud. He's a Hall of Famer. I don't care if he fumbled the ball. All right, he's not sitting on the sideline learning a lesson. All right, he's thinking about where he's going to go next year to help out, because you want to act a fool.
Mm-hmm.
So anyway, we've got one more game. It doesn't have implications of who makes the playoffs, but it does have big implications because it'll get you the bye, and that's San Francisco and Seattle. Seattle traveling to San Francisco. Cody and I were talking, kind of unfortunate for them. Had to fly all the way to to Charlotte last week, and now they got to go to San Francisco. I know, not a long flight, but tough game there. Vegas has got this as pretty much a coin flip, as do we. We were both going back and forth on it a little bit. Both teams red hot. I think Seattle's defense is a little bit better, but San Fran has the X factor in McCaffrey. This is a tough game, but the winner gets the 1 seed. Who gets the 1 seed, Cody?
I'm going to Seattle Seahawks. I think that defense is unreal. I watched it last week against the Panthers, and the Panthers got a really good offensive line. And that defensive line, Leonard Williams on that D line, also, just those guys were just moving. DeMarcus Lawrence, former Cowboy, those guys were just moving the Panthers' offensive line wherever they wanted them, pushing them out of the way. Bryce had no time to throw it. I think Seattle gets the win here. I know a lot of people are going to say, well, Darnold didn't play that great of a game against Carolina. You know what I thought about Darnold? To go to the hot takes, I think Darnold. He
didn't have to play a lights out game.
He did. The thing about it is,
a blood and guts game.
There's times where game managers win Super Bowls. You ever heard of Trent Dilfer? You ever heard of the guys like that? How about
Brad Johnson?
Brad Johnson for the Buccaneers.
Yep.
I mean, there's been times where game managers win Super Bowls, and that's what Sam Darnold is a game manager. I mean, the guy he's going against is the exact same thing. Brock Purdy. He's a game manager. Sometimes these guys are built around such good teams that if you tell them, hey, just don't turn the ball over, get us about 2 touchdowns, and we're going to win this game comfortably. And so I like Sam Darnold. I love the defense right here. I think San Fran has a problem on defense. Not like a big problem, but Chicago had their way.
They scored 35 points in like 5 consecutive possessions.
Yeah. I mean, it was unreal. I mean, Caleb Williams lit it up against them, and of course, Brock Purdy matched them for score. It was a great game, but you can't give up 38 points when you're getting close to the playoffs like this. It's got to be nip and tuck. That's why I'm leaning Seattle. Let's see where Weston goes, though.
I'm with Seattle. If you watch Cody and I's power rankings a couple weeks ago, you saw we both had Seattle very high. I'm not stepping down off of that platform. I think San Fran has a lot more injuries, and this is something we'll go over in the second podcast when we go over the hot takes, but something Darnold needs 150 yards for 4,000. 150 yards isn't that much, but I think they open it up for him just a little bit to get it. He gets $500,000 if he hits that mark, and then also I don't think anybody expected him to have 4,000 yards this season. You know, they thought Seattle was going to just run the ball with those two running backs, which, by the way, they're figuring out how to use them. I feel bad for Kenneth Walker, but he gets them down there.
Charbonnet's getting a whole lot more playing time.
He punches it in.
He's the guy.
That's the formula. I hate to keep saying it, we've talked about that on the podcast before. Having two backs and knowing how to use them is important. I think San Francisco has a chance to win this game, and the way they win this game is a nuclear game from McCaffrey, but they can literally beat anybody any year with a nuclear game from McCaffrey.
And don't get us wrong, if San Fran wins, it's not going to knock our socks off. We're still a phenomenal team.
Oh yeah, it's a coin flip.
It's a coin flip game. We're just leaning on that defense of Seattle more than anything.
Right.
And also, if San Fran does win, they'll get the 1 seed, which they'll be at home the whole playoffs, and also the Super Bowl is in Santa Clara.
Oh gosh.
So
good take there, Cody. Certainly.
Like I said, it's never happened before. Tampa did, have a home game, but they didn't start it as a 1 seed. So to have a home game,
to play the whole playoff
all the way through the playoffs, and then also have the Super Bowl at home, that's never been happened before.
I think they're a wild card. Absolutely true. And last thing, I'm just going to touch on when Cody and game manager has gotten turned into a bad term. Okay.
Oh yeah.
There's only 4 or
Cam
5.
Newton got some heat off of that.
Yeah. There's only 4 or 5 quarterbacks that I don't consider game managers.
You got
superstars.
Okay, for everybody knows what we're talking about. We're talking about superstars and game managers. Superstars.
And then there's scrubs. You know what I mean?
That's right.
Let me see.
Tua
Tagovailoa is not a game manager. He can't manage a game. They can't.
He'll throw an interception.
A play. They can't put in a system like Canales does for Bryce. If you ever watch, he'll put in a game plan for him and him execute it. Mm-hmm. You put in a game plan for Purdy, Darnold, Baker Mayfield,
Dak Prescott,
Jared
Goff.
They will pull that off. Yes, Josh Allen, Patrick Mahomes, Lamar, Burrow at times. I may be missing 1 or 2. Yeah, you can roll a middle school team out there. They might be able to win you a game. Brock Purdy, Sam Darnold, more than likely won't do that. It doesn't mean they're not great. There's only 4 people on the planet that can do that, 4 or 5. So that's what we mean by that. I know what people were going to take that. Well, Cody said Sam Darnold was great. Then he called him a game manager. Game manager is not a bad thing. They win. They win. Like we brought up Super Bowl winners, and they're not the only game managers.
Oh yeah, we could find a list of them.
So anyway, that's our wrap up there. We really want you to tune in for the next one though, because we've got some hot takes. If you're into daily fantasy, you're going to want to listen up because we got a few teams that we think could make an impact. One of the things you got to watch this week is that's why we're not going to do the pick 'em. You don't know who's going to play and who's not going to play. There's Saturday games that are going to make things. There's early games and Sunday that are going to make things different in the late series. So definitely tune into that. It's coming right after this, and you'll get some really good content out of that. All right? Thanks a lot.